Check, check, mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. Alright, so I want to talk about this Magick. I was recently asked by a couple of different people they was just inquiring on how everything's going with using this book. So I started working out this book like last April of last year, I believe. And I've made several different videos on it talking about the way I was experiencing the effect of the Magick like last year. So I don't want to just use this video to rehash on a whole lot of old shit because I already made videos about that. So but one thing definitely that has still remained consistent has been the business opportunities. Whenever I started using this Magick, actually about a month or two before I physically started working the Magick in this book, that's when business started to pick up. And from then to now, things have definitely been way more consistent when it comes to making money through the business. Compared to before, it's like a night and day difference. However, the Magick will take me to new heights if I just really believed in myself and would trust what's coming through. So, using this Magick, what I've noticed is the effects of the Magick, it seems to work quite in a quiet manner. But then as I take the time to think back, like on the last year or so to now, and look at the changes that have been made, then it's like, oh shit, like now that is different, or that is definitely changing from what it was. Such as relationships. There's some relationships, and I'm even talking about with loved ones, as well as some not so loved ones. But in the last year, there's been relationships that was a lot better before. And now today, the relationships are either in turmoil or they're kind of non-existent, right? Like, we ain't tripping. We ain't got no smoke, but like, it's just nothing there, right? Like, and I'm talking even about some females that I was in bed with and spending the night with each other multiple times a week and shit. And now it's like, it's different, man. And then on the flip side, it's like, in the last year, I've made so many new relationships with people, or started building so many new relationships with people. So many new people have come into my life in different areas on different shit. Like, everything ain't been about like business as far as like making money from somebody or with somebody. Even though it's been that too. Like, it's definitely new people that have come in my life in relation to business or money, for sure. But not even that, just a lot of people that you wouldn't even relate it to the Magick. But I relate it to the Magick because I've been doing it for a little bit now, to where I recognize like the patterns of shit, of some shit. And I know like that kind of flow of new people. I'll give an example. So last year, I started, I don't know where it come from, but I started getting this feeling like I need to start doing some sort of community service. Just that it was just a good thing to do for whatever reason. Um, so, and by community service, I'm talking about just contributing something to the collective without expecting anything in return. So last year, I decided to start coaching a little flag football team. So that in itself brought me next to a whole group of kids that I didn't know, which I started building relationships with through coaching them. That also brings their parents, who a lot of them I start building some sort of relationship with because I'm coaching the kids, right? So we're texting back and forth and we're talking, and being friendly to each other when we see each other and shit like that. Like, I know a lot of people that I didn't know before. And then just recently, then I started coaching the rec league basketball team. So that's the same situation. It's another group of kids now that I'm building with, and another group of parents. Now, along with like the people who run the leagues and shit that I gotta talk to, and just in the last year, there's an crazy amount of new faces, and new names that I know, and a whole lot of new people that know me now. Um, Not even that, but on like almost every level. I'm talking about like total strangers, man. Total strangers. And it's like somehow we'll connect. Lots of times it might just be on fucking social media. And coincidentally, typically a lot of these, when it's like a total stranger though, a total stranger that just seems like we cross paths somehow, and especially when it seems like we're from two totally different worlds, I already know that that's on some spiritual shit and they on some spiritual shit. And it's been like that every time, especially within the last year. And I'm talking about complete fucking strangers to where we'll speak to each other and it's just like we just clicking and you know what I'm saying? And anyway, you get it. And I'm not talking about a stranger. I'm literally talking about strangers. And then it comes out that like they doing a podcast too, or they're into this astral projection, or they're also into, you know what I'm saying? It's like shit's been lining up. That's why I kind of beat myself over the head. Just really like it's time like really just buy into this shit and like let your guard down and really give in to the process and trust that this shit is all going to get ordered for my best benefit. So those would probably be the most two consistent through like the last year, would be like the business opportunities. Um and then the new people or relationships in general. A lot of new people in, and it seems like some of the old people are dimming out, or at least becoming more distant. Oh no. So when you work in this magic, which I don't know if I said this already or not. When you work in this magic, you have to be open to actually acting on the things that come through. Your intuition will be used as a primary tool which the magic uses to filter information to you. And whenever you're receiving this insight, and these ideas that seem to come out of nowhere, it's important that you act on them. What happens is when you don't, you have all these good ideas and they come through at the perfect time, because that is the time that you're supposed to act on them. The window of opportunity doesn't remain open forever. And when you don't act on the ideas, what happens is they kind of just stay there and then they start piling up. Because the inspiration and shit's not going to stop coming, right? Like the suggestions, the Magick is constantly going to be giving you more suggestions and very practical things for you to do to move you along the path, to accelerate you, to accelerate your progress. And when you're not acting on these things, then it's kind of like they just pile up and just pile up. And when too much of anything is a bad thing. So when too much of this shit just piles up, what happens is it just creates another blockage. It creates another blockage because now you have a new stream of all of these old ideas, and it's like they're not going anywhere. Now they're just rolling your mind, and it's like they're just in repeat. They're just all in repeat, just going over and over in a circle, and it's not going anywhere. And it's like now you have less capacity for the new insight to come in, or now it's harder for the other shit to reach you because you got these sandbags piled up, which is keeping the water from freely flowing the way it was. So even right now, I don't know you. I don't know what's going on in your mind. But I know you probably still got a lot of the same thoughts, ideas in rotation that was in rotation last year, or in some case 5 years ago. So that's how you should know what I mean whenever I say those ideas, they pile up and then they just stay in rotation until you act on them. And that's how you free. I don't know if I want to use the word free. I don't want to use the word free, but for lack of a better word, like that's how you free yourself from it, or that's how you free that thought. That's how you help push that thought out of the mental plane into the physical plane for manifestation, is you have to apply the action. Otherwise, it's kind of just gonna stay on repeat, or it's just gonna get pushed down into the subconscious, but it's kind of just gonna stay there, remain there until, or it's gonna turn into one of those things where you're old and then it's still there. It just turns into a should have, could have thought. Man, 20 years ago, nigga, I knew back then, man, I should have did that shit when I first thought about it. Like, it's still there. You reminiscing on shit 30 years ago. It's still there. Like, it's the action. You follow through. You follow through the things that come through your intuition. You follow it up with action. And I'm talking about really as it relates to this magic. And that's a good way to know. It's a way that you'll recognize the ideas and some things that come to you from magic as opposed to just ordinarily. And especially with this magic, I notice is because like what comes to you through that magic is going to kind of bug the shit out of you. If you blow it off and push stuff like I ain't worried about that, whatever. It has a way where it's just kind of going to just keep just like nagging the shit out you. Like, what about me? What about me? What about? I don't know. It's just going to be things. If you pay attention to the pattern, there to be things to where um, you can tell the difference between what is really worth your time as opposed to things that you shouldn't waste your time on. And by actually doing the magic, it will help bring clarity to that. To make it where you could tell the difference. You could feel the difference. So, all in all, as of right now, I am not through with the book. I still probably got another 7, 8 rituals or something like that to do. Maybe not that much, but I still got more rituals to do in the book. But I haven't like nothing. I'm not in the new financial stratosphere yet. The changes, things are definitely changing in my life for sure. Mostly in a subtle way, to where now like it's not really a big shock value that's there, but on different ends, things are definitely shit's definitely moving around. And like I was saying earlier, like shit will definitely really, really get to moving even more whenever I get to moving even more. Um, so yeah. Anyway, I said enough. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm out.